Welcome back to Absolutely a Gamble. This is week 16 of NFL Best Bets. Week 15 was meh. I got 2 out of 5 correctly. Week 15 saw a couple of crazy things happen. Micah Parsons went down, tore his ACL. Green Bay's defense was not the same. The Panthers lost on a last-second field goal to the Saints, which was bananas. And the Ravens versus Bengals game, the Bengals scored 0 points. That is shocking. That is not likely to happen again next week, but it was definitely wild to see. But we're still above 60%. We're going to keep it pushing. Hopefully week 16, we get some really, really good matchups, and we pick the correct ones. Let's get it. First up, we have the Jacksonville Jaguars playing the Denver Broncos in Denver. Last week, when Denver played the Packers, I picked the Packers to win the game because I thought that the Packers would be able to do enough to beat Denver. But Denver at home looks like an entire juggernaut. This Denver team looks well-rounded. They look like a well-oiled machine. I think this Denver team is going to compete for this division moving forward, especially with Patrick Mahomes tearing his ACL. It's going to take about a year and some change before he's back at 100%. And in that meantime, I think the Denver Broncos are going to keep stacking wins. This is going to be a really good game. This game has playoff implications everywhere. I selfishly want the Denver Broncos to win, so that way it still gives the Colts a chance to sneak into the playoffs. Because the Jaguars are 2 games ahead of us and we still have to play them one more time at Lucas Oil Stadium. But because of everything I just said, my first best bet is Broncos money line at home. The spread is at -3.5 right now in Denver's favor, but I'm not trying to risk those extra points. If the money line gives me great odds as well, I'm going straight for the money line. You know how I do it here. Broncos money line, first best bet. The Houston Texans are playing the Las Vegas Raiders. And the Las Vegas Raiders are without their starting quarterback, Geno Smith. They are starting Kenny Pickett at quarterback with a weak O-line against one of the best defensive fronts in the NFL. I think the spread for this game is at -14 right now. Even though I think the -14 will be safe, I think Houston is going to demolish this Raiders team. But I am going to buy some points and take Houston alternate spread -9.5. So technically all they have to do is win by at least 10 points. That gives me at least a 4-point cushion just in case something crazy happens, missed extra point, missed field goal. It's still some pretty great odds at -9.5. So I think that is the safer side of this bet. I think Houston is going to run, through this Raiders defense, and I don't think that the Raiders offense will have many answers for this Houston defense. The only player from the Raiders that I think will have a really good day is probably Brock Bowers, and that's out of necessity, but I think this should be very easy for Houston. Sunday Night Football, the Patriots play the Baltimore Ravens in Baltimore. This line is a little bit weird to me. It is set in favor of the Baltimore Ravens. And I think the Baltimore Ravens are favored by like 1.5 or 2 points, which is kind of crazy to me, but it is what it is. I think that the Ravens are not a good team this year. They haven't been a good team all year. I think the Patriots, on the other hand, have been, at least a good team. Yes, they've faced a lot of inferior competition, but they've handled that inferior competition with ease. And the teams that they have lost to, they've lost to them in close games, narrow games, and the couple of losses that they have, I think most of them are teams with winning records or teams that are about to be in the playoffs. So because of that, I am also going to buy some points and take the alternate spread of New England Patriots +3.5. I personally think that the Patriots are going to win outright. I think Patriots money line is definitely a good bet. But if they're going to give me some points, they're going to give me, a Mike Vrabel team against, a Lamar Jackson Ravens team that hasn't really been playing their best, especially because Mike Vrabel has beaten Lamar Jackson before when he used to coach for the Tennessee Titans. So I think that Vrabel will have a really solid game plan to try to contain Lamar, try to contain that offense. And, Derrick Henry is his ex-running back. So I think that Vrabel will also have a game plan to stop Derrick Henry on the ground. And because of that, my next best bet, I'm going to take the alternate spread, New England Patriots plus 3.5. All they have to do is either lose by less than a field goal or just flat out win, which I think is what's going to happen. The Minnesota Vikings are traveling to East Rutherford this weekend to play the New York Giants. These two teams are definitely strange, to say the least. I don't think that the Giants are a good team. I don't think that the Giants are a well-run organization right now. I think Minnesota, on the other hand, is, and I think that J.J. McCarthy might be turning the corner. It's possible that this game becomes one of those games where, like, both of these teams can't stop each other. There's a potential that this could be one of these shootouts, one of these back and forth games. But I think the safest bet for me is Minnesota money line. I think the spread is at like 2.5 right now. But again, this late in the year, I'd rather just pick the money line so I don't have to sweat the points and extra points and stuff like that too much. I give the Vikings the edge because they have the better team and a better situation. I think the Giants will fight. I think the Giants will put up a fight. I think the Giants will make this a game. But I think that Minnesota comes out on top in the end. I think Minnesota's defense might, make a play or two more than the Giants' defense, and that could be the difference in the game. Minnesota money line is my fourth best bet. Last but not least, my final and favorite bet of the weekend, which I don't know that I have that much faith in this bet, but because they covered it last week, I'm willing to take them again. And of course, I got to include my guys. The Indianapolis Colts are playing the 49ers at Lucas Oil Stadium. Of course, Phillip Rivers, 44-year-old Phillip Rivers, is playing in that game. It is a must-win game. We desperately need a victory. We are 5.5-point underdogs at home, which I think is a little bit crazy, especially considering that we just played a Seahawks team that just dropped 38 points on the Rams defense, and we held that team to 18 points through just sheer grit and willpower. This game against the Niners is a different kind of a matchup. The Niners are just as good as the Seahawks, but the Niners are very injured. And I think that another week, working with the guys, working in the offense, I think that Phil will make, some better decisions. I think he'll make a couple more passes. And I think our defense will be just as feisty, especially at home. I think our run game will be what carries us, throughout this game. And I don't really have faith that we will win, but I know that we'll play desperate enough because we need the win desperately. So because of that, I'm going to take Indianapolis Colts alternate spread plus 7.5. That means that they would have to beat us by more than 7 points in order for this bet not to cash. I like our chances. I do not think that we will get blown out unless something catastrophic happens. And even if, God forbid, something were to happen to Phil, knock on wood, I do not want anything to happen to Phil. I think that whoever comes in as the backup, then the spread might be a little bit questionable, but I trust Phil to get us in the right positions, to get us in the right plays. I trust him to at least get us in field goal range consistently. So I would hope that Shane takes some points, especially if our defense is playing well. So because of that, I would like to take plus 7.5 against the San Francisco 49ers. Colts plus 7.5 is my last and final best bet of the weekend. As always, thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for joining me here again. Thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing, commenting, posting, whatever it is that you do to help this channel. Thank you so much. Enjoy the weekend's slate of games. The college football playoffs start tonight, Alabama versus Oklahoma. There's football games on tomorrow, football games on Sunday. There's going to be football games on Christmas, which those games are going to be amazing. Basketball games, all of that stuff. Enjoy the festivities. Have a great and happy holidays. Merry Christmas to all who celebrate. Love you all. Thank you so much. And I'll be waiting for you guys back here again next week for week 17. Have a fantastic one. Spread holiday cheer, spread love, spread positivity always.